everyone. We're live now. Interest plane. All right, here we go.
Hello, openers. Welcome to Open Relationship Podcast, where we have open and honest conversations from A to Z as it pertains to the LGBTQ plus community and beyond. I'm your host, Solomon E. Stretch. You can follow me on IG at Solomon E. Stretch.
And I am Randall, your co-host, and you can find me on Instagram at BeMyRandall or Christian Mingle at The Open One.
It's the way you look at it.
I am your host, Wally, and you can follow me at Wally the Godfather on Instagram and YouTube, and also check out Car Talk with Wally.
Check out what?
Car Talk with Wally.
I might have to check it out too. What the hell is that? I'm
multi-platformed.
Oh,
It's just like my spicy social media.
Oh, well, I'm going to stick to Instagram. It's @1king_Meech or TikTok, Meech Jefferson. Follow me. What's up?
Happy Pride.
Yes, happy Pride.
With your gay asses.
Happy Pride to all the queer folks in the building.
And as you can see, Rodney's not here.
No, she's not.
Yeah, what we at?
He's starting off Pride the right way.
He's starting out with a bang.
I'm sure.
A bang, bang, bang.
Maybe a few bangs.
No, Rodney is not here today. He is having some technical difficulties, but he is in the comments. So y'all please give him a hard time.
Yeah, and
Comments
slide
for
in
not
his
being
DMs
here
too.
with us.
You got him technical.
Uh-oh.
difficulty.
Kev says the mics are not on.
Oh, the mics are not
Ooh.
on.
Blasphemy.
The mics are not. Have they always?
Run.
Testing. We good?
Check. We back.
Kev said get it raw.
All right. Well, anyway, openers, you can give in 3 ways. You can buy stars on Facebook because we are 5 young professional black gay men.
Amen.
And you can join us the 4th Thursday of every month. What is that, 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock.
8:15.
We try to make it around there.
Yeah, we try to be on time.
CPT.
And those are that's exclusively for our YouTube members. You can also donate to the podcast at openrelationshippodcast@gmail.com. And you can always join our membership club on YouTube. We call it Going Green. That's all I got.
That's all you got for the
That's all I
intro?
got. Look, this whole intro thing, doing this intro that Rodney used to do.
It's a little new to you.
It's
a
new.
lot of talking back to back to back.
It is a lot of talking.
I told y'all about that.
I'm like, we're gonna have to.
You don't miss your water till your well run dry.
But you know what? When Meech is right. Because Meech from the jump was like, that's a lot of
It's
work.
a lot of
That's a
talking
lot of
back to
work.
back to back.
Me said I ain't doing it.
Ain't. I already got 10 minutes back to back.
All right, Meech. Well, let's go into these hot topics.
Oh, it's on me?
It's on you.
All right, what's up, openers?
We ain't got no iPad today.
I gotta see.
Oh,
let me
Lord.
try to wing it. Nah, let me read it. All right, what's up, openers? Before we get to our first segment, which is Hot Topics with Meech, if you don't know, Apple is our official sponsor for the Open Relationship Podcast. If you haven't done so yet, click on the link in the bio where you are watching for 1 month of Apple TV or Apple Music. As always, your support is greatly appreciated. And as my boy Solomon already mentioned, we will be live the 4th Thursday of this month starting at 8 o'clock and every 4th Thursday going forward. All right, so let's get into the hot topics. Y'all ready for the hot topics?
Let's go.
This week's hot topics is more like a sizzle. They not really spicy this week.
They not spicy.
They don't go insane this week. But I just want to start off with happy pride, happy queer folks. All right, so
Happy queer folks.
a lot of the topics today is gay centered. So I want to start off this month with a bang. So over the weekend, I was thinking to myself, I was like, I wonder, how many laws is about gay people that's out in the world, right? Over 575 laws were introduced last year in 2024 that were anti-gay. I found this on aclu.org.
And that's in the U.S.
Yes, in the U.S., which stands for American Civil Liberties Union. They are a great website. They actually list them by state. There's like 7. There's 7 in Georgia. So just a little bit of education for y'all. Then also, as I told you, I think a couple weeks ago that Trump was removing grants and stuff from local AIDS and HIV clinics and stuff like that. He did that again this weekend. He also cut, I think it's $1 billion between Medicaid and food stamps, what people call SNAP, in order to make way for his tax cut, which he wants to be permanent. As you guys know, during his first era in 2017, he did a tax cut, which is still in effect to this day. It went past Biden's presidency, and now they're trying to make it permanent. So, $1 billion is a lot of people. And I think all these anti-black things they're trying to do is really going to hurt the white folks, but it's going to hurt us too. So I just wanted to educate y'all on that because it's a lot going on. But as far as gay, so the other week, I was just happened to watch this show I used to watch. It's called Breakfast Club. Y'all might have heard of it. And Jess Hilarious was on there, and there was a lady by the name of Lene. I can't remember her last name, but they were having a segment about, like, if I'm like a Malcolm X, I would want to date like a Coretta King or Dr. King, Coretta King, like that type of person. Like if I'm a freedom rider, I want a freedom rider. So in the middle of her talking about how she wants a black king who's like pro-black and he's like anti-white supremacy, all that, Jess just comes out of nowhere and says, I just want you to know only women can have babies.
Wait, what?
It was just to the left.
Well, it was more directed towards Lene in the sense that because Lene was talking about this is what she wants in a partner.
Yes.
And she was, and from my understanding, it was just saying as long as he understands that only a woman can have a baby.
Oh,
I think that's a way to frame it. I think history repeats itself, and I think that
I just want to make sure I made her words correct.
Yeah, I think the exact quote was, I want you to know that only women can have babies. And for me, it just was the right thing at the wrong time, because I think a lot of people think of transphobia or homophobia as the same thing as racism, like back in the day where they used to lynch black people. Racism and transphobia and homophobia is different in 2025. It's very subliminal. It's very on the surface. It's very much like they need a reason not to hire you, or they need a reason not to believe in you, or they need a reason not to trust you, or they need a reason not to promote you. And I think that she's very subliminal with her transphobia, and she uses like the pain of black women and the vitriol they go through to express her transphobia. And I just don't like that. Because black women's pain is what it is on its own. We can support black women without giving them something to stand on.
Correct. Like, so in that moment, I saw that clip, and in that moment, but Jess Hilarious has like this history of attacking the trans community, like from the perspective of a black woman. Yeah. And like that's just not right. Like when we're like, and the people that she's fighting, let's get it. Who is their number one predator?
So like, who hurt her? Like that's like, my question.
I don't think it's about who hurt her. I think that she was coming to make a stance.
But just like for no reason.
She reached out for agreement, and she
got the cold shoulder because Lene was like, yes, any person who can have a uterus can have a baby. And I think that comes with educating. I think we use our platform to educate people. Just because a trans person or a person doesn't identify as a woman does not mean that they can't have a baby. If they were born with a uterus and they believe they're a trans man or a trans woman, or they don't identify at all with the gender, they can still have a baby if they were born with a uterus. And I think it's just an education moment, but she wanted to make it an anti-trans comment.
And Lene brought it to her attention. It was like, there's a difference between gender and sex. Yeah. And like, we look at this like these gender constructs that we have here of like woman, and there's more than just women can have babies.
Yeah, and I don't think it's no offense to black women. As a person raised by a black woman and only knew black women until I was a teenager, I still know what they go through, but I also know what I go through. And I never believed in comparing struggles. Like, I never thought that was a thing.
Because that's like a road to nowhere.
It's like who hurting?
Everybody hurt.
Who's hurting most?
Right, right.
I'm broken, disabled. No, I'm broke, disabled, and I'm hungry. Like, it's like
what's
who's the battle
here?
of the trenches? Like, I don't want us, none of us to struggle. But I just thought that was an interesting point because it seems like the Breakfast Club gives her these segments, and I felt like the other girl, what's the other girl's name? The other black girl, Lauren. Lauren. I feel like Lauren is more prepped and ready and available for topics that require more than surface level education.
Yeah. Well, Jess has a history of being
loud
pretty
and wrong.
ignorant. Right. And that's why she caught the flack that she caught a few weeks ago.
I think there's a space for Blair says it's just misdirected anger. I think there's a space for all of it, right?
I think so.
I'm not reading that, Rodney.
I think Jess used to be a lesbian.
That's what Rodney said in the comments.
Go ahead.
Not doing that.
Go ahead.
But I think there's space for all of it. There is ignorance everywhere, and I think we are in a phase in society where ignorance is just more prevalent. It's very open, and across the board. It's not just in terms of transgender education. I think it's in terms of just everything.
Yeah,
I agree.
Whether it's racism, whether it's politics, whether it's anything. And I think we need to have people like Lene and like Lauren who have the ability to face it head on.
In fact, check in real time.
And be graceful about it. I think the way that she handled it was very graceful. It was very appropriate. That could have easily been an argument.
It could have easily slid 30 more minutes. She was like, I'm not giving you that, girl. She was like, yeah, we agree on that. And then she turned to Charlamagne and they continue with the thing.
You better read my comment. I read that one. However, you don't have a seat today, Rodney.
Ooh, not it's only 4.
Right. I thought declined.
I thought that was a very interesting topic. Okay, so moving forward. Okay, so we also talked, just like you just said, a space for ignorance, right? I just want to touch on Tory Lanez really quick.
You know, for a person that does not like him, you really bring him up a lot.
Well, I'm a hottie, so I gotta respect.
You're a hottie.
I'm an official.
What is a
hottie? A Megan fan.
Okay.
Oh, that's what they call it?
I'm always learning something.
I'm an official hottie. So I just want to say it's because last week, Tory Lanez's defense team put out a video of Megan sitting on the sidewalk or whatever, and she was like, "Oh, I stepped on glass. Nothing happened to me. I stepped on glass." And then they also produced the video from the hospital where she was telling the nurse that she stepped on glass and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so listen, I want y'all to understand this. 3 years ago, she told us this information on the Gayle interview, and she also told us on Instagram why she lied, what the lie was about, and what she was trying to accomplish. When she testified, they played these same videos in the court, and she also then said, "I lied because of this, but he actually did shoot me," and blah, 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 blah. Y'all are in Shade Room, Jasmine Brand, Vibe Magazine, all these other comments talking about, "Oh my God, why wasn't this presented at trial?" It was. It was presented at trial. The audio straight and the video. Now, there was also a witness a white guy who, in the video, you could hear him saying, "I saw 2 girls fighting and another girl, I thought I saw a short girl shoot the gun." When he testified, he said he thought Tory was the girl.
Hold on. Thank you, Rodney, for your $4.99. You could have spent more, but whatever.
Don't be no cheap ass.
Brokey.
And then, so this is the thing. So in the comments, I was seeing black women and black men saying, "Oh, Kelsey shot her inside the car." Okay, they waxed the car down. There was no gun residue in the gun. There was no shot. There was nothing in the car nothing was about a gun. She was shot outside the car. So I just want to get y'all to understand perception and reality. I know that we like our music people, we love them, we get into their business, but fact is fact and fiction is fiction. There was no guns that went off in the car. There was no blood that came from the gun that was in the car. Nothing. So could we please let it go? Okay?
No.
Why?
Fact is fact, fiction is fiction. This man is in jail for what he did. Now, prove it differently, then we can have that conversation. But like you're like bringing up a subject that's already closed. Like
it's literally closed. He lost the appeal. They presented all these videos at the trial. Kelsey got up there and said she didn't shoot him. Now he's texting Jason Lee saying that he didn't say that Kelsey shot him because he didn't want her son to be at home with no mama, but his son at home with no father. It's just a foolish mess. We moving on.
Okay.
Oh my.
So
All right.
So we're not gonna talk about this no more.
Nope.
Thank you.
Case is closed.
Thank you.
I have closed it. Judge Meech has closed the case. Get out my DM.
Until 2 weeks from now.
It's closed. Moving on to. Did I tell y'all Chris Brown was out? I'm getting my tickets now. My man is home. Thank God.
He's in America?
Listen, he got to make his money in Europe. Leave him alone.
Okay.
He got out on bail. I think it was like a couple $100,000 he had to pay. He is out. He is free. Get your tickets to Breezy Bowl, Summer Walker, Gina Aiko, some other random person, and Chris Brown this tour. Okay, Hot Topics is closed. Your turn, Randall.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that, Meech.
Lord,
You know, we love the hot.
Hotties was getting hot.
Right. You know, we love the hot topics, but welcome back to Open Up, y'all.
I shortened Hot Topics this week so we can have more conversation.
Okay. All right. Well, Open Up is the space for conversation.
Let's do it.
It is the place where we talk about building relationships on our own terms. And in Open Up, of course, we use the lens of the Black queer experience to unpack non-traditional relationships. And today's topic is Lavender relationships. So I was scrolling Instagram and I ran across this post from G Smalls. And like, I don't know if y'all know G, but I absolutely love his content. Like his rants are just like, they're always like right at my
I can't see it. Dodge Meech?
Dooge Meech.
Dooge Meech.
Judge.
Meech.
Judge Meech.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Judge Meech closed that case tonight.
Yes. Thank you, Judge Meech. We love you, Kevy Kev. But we're talking about lavender marriages. G Smalls posted this whole concept of, all right, guys, we all know what a lavender marriage is when a female marries like their gay best friend or a gay man, knowing that they're gay, but that the relationship works with that understanding, right?
I can hear this show on the other side of the room too.
And and they marry for that, but why don't we do it in our own community?
Like gays?
Yeah. So like we kind of have this idea of like this traditional sense of, all right, well, this is a person I want as my mate, as my partner, as my husband, right? But why are we not out here marrying our best friends?
I can't. Meech is
or finding space to.
Meech, you look like you got some booty. Is this true, Meech?
We don't entertain those kinds of comments on social media and these platforms.
That's why he was late, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. Meech was late. That's why we starting late.
Late for a reason, baby.
Meech came in, and you know.
Child, I sat down in my seat. Okay, so back to the topic.
Right.
I can't do it. So once I see you as something, you'll always be that thing. Like if I met you as a friend, you'll be that friend. If I met you as a hookup, if I saw more in you, I always see more. I don't go back and forth. I would never marry my best friend.
Compartmentalize.
I would never marry my best friend.
I don't think it's marrying for the intent to have a romantic relationship. I think it's marrying for the purpose.
For the structure of marriage?
For the structure of marriage, like to have a 2-person household.
Okay.
For companionship.
Now, I would not be offended, because I know some of my friends did this when I was in D.C., marrying folks for green cards. I would not be opposed to that. I had like 3 friends do that when I lived in D.C. And they don't even talk to the people, but like once a year. They have to do something like once a year.
That's like _King Meech on Instagram.
Wait, I'm confused. What?
That is
Like you could marry them if they like need a green card or if they need citizenship.
Okay, so first of all,
they'll pay.
That's a whole different situation.
No,
though.
that's legal.
Oh, well, I'm talking about... I'm just saying. You talking about non-conventional relationships, that's one.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's
They married.
But that's legal.
So, yeah.
That's legal. Like you can't go to jail.
But when I was
your best
But when I was younger, me and my friend, we always said, it's crazy because I just turned 35 last year. We always said if we didn't have kids and we wasn't married by 35, we would marry each other.
Exactly.
35 is that's too young.
But I think that speaks to the point.
But that's exactly my point. Like that. Like I had this. There's this chick that I talked to in high school, and like we were friends, and it was basically that, like, hey, if by 35 we're not both married, or like we both still single out here, like it's you and me, and we'll figure the rest out, right?
But then somebody go and get married and then mess it all up.
But you
so
get
what-
you
Are
get
they
older
still
and that
married about
happens.
time?
The question is why don't we do that in the gay world?
Break it down for me. Why don't we do it?
That same situation that you had. Why don't you? Why was that acceptable for you as like when you were with her, whatever it was?
I think that was like we was like 12.
Oh, you were 12 then?
Yeah, we was talking about like if we end up by ourselves, we'll let's be together.
At 12, y'all were having these? Okay.
Okay.
I've entertained a lot of those conversations throughout life. But I always had an expectation that I would be married to someone that I wanted to be in a relationship with.
Correct.
And what does that relationship have to look like, though? Like, again, friendships are relationships.
But I would be in a relationship with a man.
Do you have cuddle friends?
I do.
Okay.
And
So if you have, like,
Hey.
I'm saying, what is it that
Say
specifically, and
you.
if you say sex, then okay, I get it. But I think that's where I'm trying to steer the conversation is we also have like such like emphasis on sex in our community. And if that wasn't a thing, then like, who would we date? Who?
So I feel like I did have a version of that. A very close friend of mine, we lived together for 5.5 years. And we did everything together. We traveled together. We went to the grocery store together. We cooked together. We lived together.
Okay.
And I think it was fine. It worked for that particular season. But after a while, it was just like, all right, we need to grow up.
But again,
We
like,
need to go up.
but you found fault in that. But where is the real fault in that? Like, if you guys would have continued that,
I don't think it's
and
fault. I think
would,
it's
like,
more
would
like
everybody have been
personal
fulfilled? Like,
Yeah, I think it's fine when you're of a certain age. Like, I think me at like 45 or like 50 or even like in your 60s, I think it's important to have community and like not live by yourself, not be in isolation. So would it be something that I would consider later on in life? Definitely. Like if one of my friends is single or maybe it's a couple of them, hey, let's get a big ass house and just live together. So we can support each other. I think it makes sense. Even for children and procreation, like, I think it makes sense because I'm a believer. I'm not paying for no kid. I'm not paying for no surrogate. I'm not paying $100,000 to birth no kid when they around here walking around for free. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
that sounds like kidnapping.
What?
no, but I'm saying, like, okay, if I have a female friend that wants a child, let's procreate. Let's have a kid together and work out some sort of agreement versus me paying whatever XYZ to have this children. And that's no shade on anybody that does surrogacy and find all of that kind
It's
of
just
stuff.
not for you.
Yeah,
Rodney
this is just my personal preference.
Rodney wants to know if you and your
Did y'all shower together? No, we did not shower together.
Rodney?
This thing. Okay. What else?
Yeah. What did you like, Solomon?
I don't. So a part of me. So like Wally, I believe that it can work. I believe that in a Lavender relationship, there's an opportunity to save money. Having a two-person household is just great.
Economical.
It works. Doing that in your own community, I think it could work. I think it could be great. There's just something in it that just, to me, screams I've given up.
Yeah, I can see that.
I would say I agree. It screams I give it up because to me it's the last option.
If
on the
nobody
list.
else is around, then I choose you.
But I also would say that I think, not being disrespectful to anybody, I think there's a lot of people in those type of relationships now. And they just may not.
They don't know it.
They might know it.
Yeah.
I think I was having conversations the other day with someone and they was just talking about the person or whatever. And I was like, that means you don't like them, right? They was like, oh, when I come around them, I don't feel like this or I don't get this or I don't do that. I was like, or they was like, oh, after work and I'm tired, I just want to go home. I don't want to talk to my man. And da, da, da. I was like, you probably just don't like them.
But that's not a lavender relationship. Like the lavender relationship is this.
No, I mean like I know people who in actual relationships there is no chemistry. They are not compatible.
It's convenient.
But it is very convenient. They do a lot of things together. They know a lot of the same people. They do want to go out in the world and do the same things. They have the same type of sexual
so they
wokeness.
fucking other people? Is that what happened?
But together it's like
I feel like that's like
What's up, Jay Blue?
that's misery, right? Like I get it from an economical standpoint, but like everything.
but just wanting to do it. What you're talking about is somebody who wants to do it, not somebody who's forced back
I just feel
into
like
it.
the energy around it is always like the energy is just what you say. Well, if nobody else wants me when I turn 40, I guess I'm gonna marry you. Like no, that's not the energy.
Well, my
that's
best
not the
friend would
energy
still
that
be
people
somebody
are-
who's attractive. They got
But I
something
think
going
a lot of
on.
those
They'll still be
conversations
worthy.
have that energy. But I think it's also to the point that you may be making, that G may be making as well, is that it would be nice to be in some sort of relationship with somebody that likes you.
Yes.
Where you can have intimate conversations, where you can have dinner together, where you can travel together, where you can live a life together.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be sexual.
It's companionship,
And it also does not have to be forever. Like if one of you gets into a situation
hold up.
of love,
Wait
until
a
something
minute,
comes
wait a
along.
minute.
Until something comes
We're
along.
not going into an agreement and then you back out on me.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna need some rules.
But your partner could also back out. Your romantic partner could back out one
That
day.
is true.
Because
And I'm
you
gonna
have
be
to
pissed
marry
at that too.
all sides of a
Right.
person, right? What does comment say from Blair? I can't read.
All right, Blair says, it slightly feels like a way to avoid the work of becoming better to maintain a romantic partner and settling for, I don't know what the rest says.
An out?
For any level of consistent companionship available, I could be overjudging.
Yeah, well, Rodney, I believe that you're overjudging. And again, I'm trying to shift the idea from this is like my last resort to this is someone who I
viable
absolutely
option.
love. Like for example, I've had best friends, and like I try to compare this to my husband, but my husband is not a lavender relationship.
Yeah.
But like I've had best friends that have that same vibe, but there's something that there's a place where we just don't connect. And I feel like that's okay. Like if you come with, all right, you come with half the bills, you're not too messy, like around the house. We like to travel together. You get it. Like you get my lifestyle. I get yours. But you know what? Our views are so different on politics that I could never, that's because of that. We can't quite be
disqualifier.
Yeah, that would be a disqualifier. Well, okay, well, all right, well, we just want to talk about politics, but we're gonna have this nice lavender gay ass situation, and we're gonna love on each other.
So I also know somebody that used to be coupled and they're not coupled anymore, but they still live together, but they're agreeing to just be friends and still do their thing separately, but they going to still live together. Like, so it could work in the opposite as well. Hey, to each his own, whatever your relationship
whatever
dynamics
works for
are,
you.
I know what I want, and I don't think that would be it.
Right. Well, I think that's a really good way to end this too. Like, Open Up, again, is a segment about building relationships on your own terms. And what I'm trying to get everyone to open up to is that, hey, love who you want to love, and like whatever type of relationship you want, like whatever you feel like you should have is something that you should get. And if you don't get that all in one person, that's still okay. Go get it.
There's different ways we can do this.
Yeah. So with that, I will turn it over to Solomon for
Wally.
You know,
Randall's
Randall's forgetting our names today, so
No.
I was late, but at least I know the order.
All right.
low.
I always forget your name. like
Y'all were in front of me with the
you're like
intro
Meg.
too.
You're like Meg.
I guess. Just, hey.
What do you say?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Wally.
That's a
just
different voice.
in case you don't
got
know
off
who
the
I
radio.
am. Wally, and welcome to a segment I like to call Get Your Life, Play the Game. So, I've been hearing from the openers they want to get in our business a little bit more, know a little bit about us and all of that. So we are going to play a classic version of, what's the name of it?
It's your game. We don't know the name.
Who's most likely to?
Yes, who's most likely to? I was just seeing if y'all was paying attention to what I be saying.
You
I
just
appreciate
told
that,
us the
man.
game.
Yes. So, who is more likely to? We have
got
our
this
trusty
damn
bowl
job.
here. I have to get my stuff out of it. Look, real hood-like here. So, yeah, we got our keys and
Very
our
arts
phone
and
in
craftsy.
here. Yeah, so we have these wonderful scenarios here, and we are going to vote who is the most likely